Dr. Amber Salvador. She is a licensed clinical psychologist, transformational coach, and creator of the Mind Body and Soul Masterclass. Dr. Salvador has also been featured numerous times. You might have seen her on local television affiliates such as ABC, CBS, also Fox. And she talks about her experience in empowering women to break the cycle of mental and emotional habits that keep them from creating extraordinary love, health, and life of purpose. And so we are so lucky to have her here today. Where is she? Please welcome. Oh, there you're right in front of me. Please welcome Dr. Amber Salvador.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I've got some tall heels on, so I need to raise this a bit. Okay. So I want to start by saying congratulations to the ladies that we're honoring today. How wonderful, Candace, for you to put this on, and it's very in line with what I do. I feel really at home here because part of my mission is to help women, high-achieving women and men, to not settle in any area of their life. Because I know that when you're building a business, especially when you're bringing something into the world that feels so meaningful to you, it freaking takes all of you, yes? Yeah. And there comes sacrifices with that. So I wanted to speak to that today. I want to speak to the parts of us that can be put on the back burner sometimes when we're creating something that's so meaningful to us. So it started back in May of 2015. It was like a Friday night. I was out with my partner and I was celebrating. I just passed my last licensing exam, and I had just spent the last, I just spent the last 7 years of blood, sweat, and tears to get my doctorate. And if you've ever gotten a doctorate, there's a few things you gotta do. And I was so excited because it was finally over. I was like, yes, I'm finally licensed. That major chapter in my life that I worked so hard for is finished, and now I can open up. It's my partner of 8.5 years. We're gonna build a family. We're gonna get engaged. I was really excited to step into that part of my life. And we're out at dinner. We're with family, and my partner was pretty distant. And I was like, okay, but I didn't say anything because I was with my family. And then we go home, and he's still really distant. And I'm thinking, what's up? And I said, hey, what's going on? And I remember he sat down on the couch and kind of stared off into space and said, I can't do this, Amber. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, I can't marry you. And I was like, what? Like, we're celebrating this massive accomplishment, and you're telling me this right now? And I was floored, like I was devastated. And in that moment, all that I could think was like, I just spent 7 years like pouring myself into this, and you were with me, and now it's our time, and you're leaving. And I couldn't help but think, I just spent so much time on this, like, is it really worth it to have built all this if I just lost the love of my life? And then shortly after that, oh my gosh, the cat that we had died, my dad passed away, let's see, my car broke down and died. It was a bad country song. It was like, all these things kept happening. And then in October of 2015, I got sick. I was diagnosed with this autoimmune disorder, and the doctor said it was life-threatening and chronic. And if you know me, you know, like, I can't hear that. I'm like, what? Chronic? Life-threatening? Like, that doesn't even match who I am. And literally, it was at that point that I had the thought again, like, wait, what was I building all this for and spending all this time and pouring all of me into this if I don't have my health? And it really, like, have you ever had that experience where you thought your life was going to look a certain way? Like, you literally, like, imagined it going this way, and it, like, it just, like, completely turned on you. Have you ever had that experience? Just a few of us, right? I think if you're a human being, you've had that experience, right? And it was like, okay, so my life looks nothing how I thought it was going to look in this moment. And so I decided to go on this deep healing journey. And really this journey, I'm a psychologist. I understand the power of doing the inner work, but I started doing the inner work even deeper. And what I came to was this deep and profound love and acceptance of myself that I had tried to create on the outside, right? If you had looked at my life, you would have thought, oh yeah, she has it all together. She's a doctor. She's this really sexy man. She's getting it all together. But I didn't fully have me. And the work that I did helped me to profoundly love and accept myself. And not only that, it helped me to show up as a feminine woman in a relationship, because as women who have drive and ambition, we can get into our masculine. And I'm telling you, there's nothing that destroys your sex life with a woman's in her masculine and the man's in his feminine. It just doesn't work. And now, because of that healing, I've been able to show up fully. I can still be that driver. I can still be that boss, right? And I can shift into my feminine, and I've drawn in a partner that I love and I'm committed to. But most of all, I'm in love with myself. And that is the power of doing the inner work, which in our society, as we know, the focus is so much on the outside and less about the inside. So I'm really speaking to you right now, whether you're a man or a woman. If you're someone who you know what it's like to put in the effort, and you don't want to settle in any area of your life anymore. Because sometimes when we're driving in one area, we're sacrificing in another, and you know it. You know it when you don't have the intimacy and true connection that you want. You know it when you haven't had sex with the lights on for a while, right? You know it when you don't have time for yourself. Like you literally just don't have time for it, and you put your own self on the back burner. So it can be really hard to do those things, but there's a few misconceptions I want to talk to you about. One is that in our society we have this misconception that time heals all wounds, and that we can buy something and it's going to fix us. That there's going to be something on the outside that's going to make us whole and happy. And I want you to think about that. Have you tried that? Because I tried that. We've all tried that on some level. And did it work? Like forever did it work? Or did it work temporarily? Right? So this idea that time heals all wounds is a lie. Inner work heals wounds. And the wounds stop playing out over and over in your relationships and in your body and in your mind when you actually do the work, like the deep, the real work. Because that stuff that's unresolved, that stuff that's unfinished, it also shows up in your body. Those headaches, those stomach aches, feeling tired, feeling lethargic, right? We're all young, and sometimes we shouldn't feel as tired as we do, yeah? But we feel tired because you're driving and you're driving and you're driving. So I want you to think about, especially with your body, our body's always communicating with us. It's always trying to tell us something. But we live in a society that, we take a pill for that, or we relax with a drink, and there's no judgments on that. It's just that we miss the communication that our body's trying to tell us. And it might be that you need to have that conversation with your best friend or your man or your woman that you haven't had, and that will really cure up your headache, more so than taking a pill. And then lastly, what I really want to touch on, and I think a lot of you probably know this because I've been having conversations with you, is that your soul is your internal GPS system. That you have the answers within you already. Unfortunately, we live in a society where there's so much noise up here. There's so much going on at all times. And then we've all been hurt on some level or another, and some of us have had very severe traumas. And so then we shut down our hearts. So then when you've got a busy mind and a shut down heart, how can you really be open to connecting with this thing inside you that has all the answers? So it's the inner work. It's doing the work to clear the mind, to have practices to heal the body, to heal the heart. That's when you can start really connecting with who you are and why you're here. And things will start to get into alignment for you. It kind of reminds me of Michelle. She's one of the clients that I worked with. And Michelle came to me and she was on the brink of divorce. And her husband was about to leave. And so I did a lot of work with her, specifically about how is she showing up in her marriage, but also how is she showing up for herself. Because believe it or not, we betray ourselves quite often with the things that we say and do. And as she started to show up for herself, her husband started to shift. And now they literally, I had them in my office the other day and they were like giggling and laughing, and after 20 years of marriage, they're back in love and they didn't think that it was possible. Or I have Suzanne, who before I met her, she was on over 15 medications just to go to sleep, to calm her anxiety, stuff like this. She also had fibromyalgia, so she had chronic pain. And through the mind-body connection skills that I've been teaching her and like learning to attune to herself, she literally is off all of her medications and she has no pain on a daily basis. And this is the power of naturally connecting to yourself and deciding, I don't need this external fix, I actually have the answers within. We just don't always realize that, right? We don't realize that we have what it takes, and sometimes we need a guide for that. So, all that to share, I am a clinical psychologist and also a transformation coach. I've gone through my own journey, as I told you, and I've been putting my own illness into remission, and I'm in a very loving relationship, and I have a very powerful relationship with myself by using the tools that I help my clients use. And so what I want to offer you, since Candace has put on this beautiful event, is I'm offering a Mind Body Soul Vision Call, which essentially, it typically runs for almost $700, but I'm giving it to you guys for free. It's a 90-minute call where we get really clear about, is there an area of your life that you're settling? Because I know if you're a driven human being, then you want maximum fulfillment in every area, not just your business. And when you feel fully empowered in your love life, and you're having great sex, and you're feeling good in your body, and you're happy with yourself, think about what your business can look like then. If it can look as good as it looks now, imagine what it can look like when you're fully empowered. So I want to give away this call, and also we also have a free love meditation that I created that's very heart-opening. Yeah, we got it. And I would love for you to come by before you leave, and we can just set up a call, and I'll send you that love meditation. And there's no pressure. Let's just see what's possible, because you clearly are here for a purpose. And you're doing big things, so let's make your life even more fulfilled. Thank you.